everyone. My name is Kristen Aguilar. I'm one of the co-executive directors at Semilla. It's 2020 and we're celebrating our 10th birthday anniversary. Unfortunately, it's also the year that has seen great disruptions because of a global pandemic. Fortunately, has seen a lot of people rise up for racial justice all around the country and all around the world. As I was trying to figure out exactly what to say for this fundraising video for our celebration of 10 years of existence as an organization, I found myself full of a lot of conflicting emotions, like I'm sure many of you have. I feel despondence occasionally, or fear, anger, and I'm occasionally terrified that things will go back to the status quo, that all of these uprisings that we're seeing, all of these people coming together to demand that we cherish and value Black lives, that we acknowledge and uplift Indigenous folks and their cultures, that we center and value the work that food chain workers are doing every single day for us, to care for us and feed us. I'm terrified that all of those things will be left in the dust and left behind, as they have so many times before. But the thing that always wins out, the feeling that always takes hold and overcomes all the other ones, is hope. I don't think I would be in this job, in this field, doing this work, if that weren't the case. Because I see it every day. Semilla is a microcosm of the world that we're trying to create on a larger scale. We value and pay living wages to our farmers and our farm workers. We value our staff as nonprofit professionals who are enriching the entire field and sector with their lived experience. We are creating spaces for young people to explore and heal and imagine futures that sometimes seem so far away and so out of grasp. We are creating spaces where we give the gift of time and comfort and connection that we don't always see in the world. We're creating spaces where Black, Indigenous, and other people of color can find safety and can feel valued and comforted. We do all of these things and it gives me hope. I see young people go through our programs and grow food and feed their communities, and it gives me hope. And so you and your generous donations and your support for our organization over the past 10 years, and hopefully for many more years into the future, you are creating that with us. You are creating this world that we want to see. You are planting a school garden with very eager third graders. You are training beginning farmers, often young people of color, who go on to feed their communities and their families. You are conserving our desert foods and ecosystems and reigniting interest and love for our ancestral health and wellness practices. You are creating a better food and farm system, and together we're shaping the future. And so I really do want to thank you all again for joining us today, and I want to thank you for all of your past support, your current supports, and your support into the future. We have some amazing t-shirts with art designed by our amazing board member Rachel Burke that I hope you all go to the link that we have posted to purchase, because they really are beautiful and they capture, I think, a lot of the feeling of hope and beauty that we're striving to cultivate and put forth into the world every day with our work. And we're doing it with your help. So thank you all.
Hi everyone, thank you for joining us for La Semilla's 10-year anniversary. My name is Cristina Dominguez. I'm a fronteriza farmer, and I have the privilege of serving as co-executive director of La Semilla Food Center. And I'm greeting you from La Semilla Community Farm in Anthony, New Mexico. Today I acknowledge and give thanks to the land and original peoples of the region that we currently call Paso del Norte. My respect and gratitude to all the native ancestors of this land, including Chiricahua Apache, Mimbreño Apache, and Mescalero Apache, Suma, Jocome, Llano, and Piromanso, and to all my indigenous relatives who are very much still here, thriving and resisting. You may have seen via our social media pages recently that we've been hosting virtual story gathering sessions led by the amazing gifted Ruby Orozco Santos. These sessions are part of a larger food and farm policy project that we will soon reveal to also include a zine and murals, so more on that in the coming months. We're not done collecting food stories of adaptation, resilience, and traditions here in our region though, so see our hotline number on our social media pages to call in and share your story with us. These sessions have been truly moving and like a salve, a pomada for the soul. What I was reminded of by these story gathering sessions is that we're not just celebrating La Semilla, we are celebrating the growth of an ecosystem of fellow collaborators, co-conspirators, of nonprofits, local food businesses, restaurants, and chefs that source locally. And most critically of all, we're celebrating farmers. Small-scale farmers that had to pivot in creative ways to get you that local produce, and who have limited labor and who still work to care for and pay for those essential workers to pay them fairly. Specifically, we're celebrating farmers that grow healthy soil and nutrient-dense foods, and just to name a few, fronteriza farmers like Anita Rodriguez of Utopia Valley, Julieta Saucedo of Muros de Adobe Farms in Chaparral, and Yvonne Diaz of De Colores Farms. Your support helps us to foster these networks of diversity that nourish one another. 2020 has definitely clarified the importance of a strong local food system and the many hands required to sustain that system. And we have the beginnings of that system, and most especially, we need the help to keep supporting the growth of the kind of system we envision. I have the expanse of the farm behind me, and this has me thinking two things. One, how we so very much were looking forward to having everybody here to celebrate 10 years. And we look forward to the day when it is safe to do that again, because it will come. And two, about the reasons we call it a community farm and the many collaborative efforts that have created this agroecological space for healing and food medicine. And to clarify, to be very clear, I am not talking about the agroecology strictly defined by Western educational institutions focused solely on production practices and especially on yields, but the agroecology of the global movement led by groups like La Via Campesina. The agroecology that recognizes the need for power shifting, critical analysis, and holistic understandings of gender and intergenerational community and culture. Groups like the Border Farm Workers Center that are members of La Via Campesina that are calling for a new way, a new system. So what makes this a community farm? I'll attempt to answer, but I think there's many answers. I look at the many sections here which represent community efforts to get infrastructure in place to have a diversified production farm. From our hoop house that AFSC and Anthony Youth Farm gifted us and helped us to construct years ago, to our solar panels maintained by Oregon Mountain Solar and Electric. They came out and helped us to make sure the irrigation well could irrigate when we were germinating seeds. To our fruit trees, generously provided by Sierra Vista growers, to our desert tree line, and this perennial line of protection behind me, filled with plants we source from High Desert Nursery in El Paso. And last, but certainly not least, not ever least, all the Raíces youth and families over the past years that have grown this farm. You have been deeply missed this year. This section, which we affectionately call the farm's abrazo, offers us protection from wind and herbicide drift from neighboring farms. And this fall and winter, we intend to grow out our Chihuahuan desert food forest. We have the beginnings of it here. We have mesquite, we have nopal, we have choya, we have yucca. We don't have enough of those. We're working on it. and we envision something much more expansive. And we know that creating microclimates, saving seeds adapted to our arid region, and reviving desert foodways are vital strategies needed to grow resilience in the face of climate change. We also know that as we amplify these foodways, it is farmers of color, BIPOC farmers, that must be central to reclaiming them. This abrazo, an embrace of protection, is an appropriate metaphor. So we celebrate in hope, and we don't say hope flippantly, not in a way that negates the devastation of these times we are living in. The kind of hope one of my favorite authors and thinkers, Rebecca Solnit, writes about. She writes, "It is important to say what hope is not. It is not the belief everything was, is, or will be fine. The evidence is all around us of tremendous suffering and destruction. The hope I am interested in is about broad perspectives with specific possibilities, ones that invite or demand that we act. Hope locates itself in the premise that we don't know what will happen, and that in the spaciousness of uncertainty is room to act. It is a belief that what we do matters, even though how and when it may matter are not things we can know beforehand." There's an inherent tension between what feels like this being the most difficult time to celebrate, and yet somehow it's also the most important time to do so, because we celebrate to remain hopeful and committed to one another, to renew and remember the reasons we are working and imagining something better and more just for all. We need each other. We need you. I'm going to pass the mic to my newest La Semilla colleague, Luis. Luis, along with our other apprentice, Abby, were incredibly vital to helping us get produce out of the fields and into the farm fresh bags this summer. Many of you are familiar with the annual vegetable crops we grow, the eggplant, the tomatoes, the jalapenos, the chiles, right? All the things that will be affected by freezing temperatures soon. But those crops are just a fragment of what is being nurtured out here. It's soil and biodiversity, and desert perennials, and beneficial plant ecology, and native pollinator habitat, and most importantly, people. We, you, us, are growing people and healthy communities.
Hi, I'm Luis Murillo. Right now, I am a farmer assistant, but I've been working with La Semilla for 2 years, I think. First, I started Raíces. I went to the program 3 times. Then I entered as a farmer apprentice. And like I said before, right now I'm a farmer assistant. And what I like here at the farm is that they've been teaching me how to plant and take care of the roots, vegetables, and fruits. And I could do that at my house. Also, what I like doing most here is when we harvest, especially the roots, because they are the easiest thing to harvest and clean. And right now what we are planting is beets, carrots, spinach, radishes, turnips, and some masculine mix. And I like working here because it reminds me of my dead relative, that especially my grandma. She had her own garden in her house, and I will help her a lot with that. Happy birthday, La Semilla.
Thank you all so much for sharing your time and joining us this evening. My name is Liz Anachini, and I am the Edible Education Program Director with La Semilla. Today, as we gather together to celebrate 10 years of La Semilla, I am here to ask you for your support. As any of you who have attended one of our annual Farm to Fork celebrations knows, normally at this time of year, we would be gathering together around a beautiful meal with music and dancing, and we would be celebrating the abundance that comes from our local farms and honoring the work of farmers, of farm workers, of food chain workers that help put that food on our table every day. We can't gather together in person this year, but we're so thrilled that you have shared some of your time with us to celebrate 10 years. and we're hoping that this evening you'll help us reach our annual fundraising goal as well. We value every gift of time, of knowledge, of presence that each and every one of you has contributed to La Semilla. It has made us who we are today. Tonight, we're also asking you if you can make a financial contribution. We're hoping to raise $10,000 this evening to guarantee that La Semilla is here for 10 more years and far beyond. We know that we are moving through a challenging time together right now, and some people might not be able to contribute financially. If you can, we ask that you give what you can. Please know that every dollar, every donation is an important piece of how we move forward into the future. I invite you to log on to our website at www.lasemillafoodcenter.org. Once you're there, please scroll down. You'll find a blue donate button. And we ask you to give whatever gift feels right. If it's $5, if it's $500, whatever it is, please know that your support is vital as we continue to reach our mission. If you don't want to take my word for it, I'm excited that you are about to hear from some of the farmers, teachers, students, parents, and food system leaders who we have the honor of working with and learning from. And excited to see how they are participated in La Semilla. Thank you so much for joining us. Stay tuned after that for a raffle of our anniversary t-shirts with one of our board members, Catalina. And just thank you all so much for joining us tonight. Thank you for your time, thank you for your contributions, and most importantly, thank you for being part of La Semilla.
Wow, 10 years. Well, it's easy being green with La Semilla. May you have 10 more or many more to come.
It's come to my attention that you all have reached your 10-year anniversary. Are you kidding me? When did that even happen?
Hello, my name is Catalina Salas and I am one of the board members for La Semilla. I want to wish them a very happy 10th birthday.
Congratulations on your 10-year anniversary, and I hope this continues on for many, many years.
Happy birthday, La Semilla. Here's to building a multi-generational vision together.
Looking back now at what I think Cristina was trying to accomplish 9 years ago continues to be La Semilla's mission, which is in part to educate and inspire change. La Semilla has also taught and inspired me to take a stand for what is right, to be an advocate, to be fair, and remember self-care. To respect the land, protect the water, cherish seeds, love the desert, and build community, which I quickly learned turns into family.
And I was unaware of what exactly I was going to do with this nonprofit. But having met the team, I right away knew that they had just as much passion for the community, education, and understanding the resources that we have in this region. And this was all very special and reconnected me back to different things that I did not know I was going to reconnect to. There's this special magic that you experience when you plant a seed and then sharing the fruit that grows from that seed with the community. And this is something that La Semilla is very good at. And I hope everybody gets to experience this.
We have been implementing garden curriculum into our classroom and also have been maintaining our wonderful garden space. It has become a sanctuary for kids, for staff, and for all our community members. It has also been a great extension to our classroom to learn and grow with the garden. Every year has been amazing. We now have an after-school component cooking in the classroom. We have a food corps member who comes once a month that we learn from, students and teachers alike. And most importantly, we have this connection with our community and family through our farm-to-table celebrations.
I learned about La Semilla at a Gadsden school board meeting. At the time, I didn't know if I was going to be a teacher or not, but what I heard, I thought was very important and very poignant for us to implement in the classroom. Well, La Semilla has a wonderful edible education program that it just complemented my praxis as a teacher. I talk about things like culture, community, math, health, science. The last thing I needed to add was seed-to-table education. And I'm very happy I did. My whole school backed me, supported me. Luckily, we have a wonderful growing garden, and I appreciate all the teachers from La Semilla teaching me to help facilitate the learning.
Well, they probably don't even know how much of an influence they've been just on my life personally, the mark that they make. To see a group of people come together and make things important like food justice, food security, food sovereignty, social justice, human rights, all of those things. They don't play. They mean what they say, and they put efforts out there to make positive changes into the community and the environment.
The feeling of being supported as a small-scale farmer, knowing that the communities where we are working are being supported and by La Semilla, that is something that you never end up and paying that back. And I'm really thankful for being there and the way, like, yeah, all the projects they have, like, they are so powerful.
It was a learning experience. They showed us a lot about from farming, like I said, food industry, food justice, and I brought all of the knowledge home. And we did have a lot of recipes provided by La Semilla, great recipes by the way, and they were delicious, and most importantly, they were healthy. And I learned a lot to appreciate the work that farmers do out there.
I'm so grateful for this organization who I have always witnessed working so hard and so diligently and just for the people. And you don't see that all the time. You don't see that all the time. I want to be able to support La Semilla through my work for the rest of my life. I also want to thank La Semilla for the amazing work they've done in the last 10 years.
La Semilla has been a big part of my growth ever since I started with Raíces. I thought it was an awesome organization. I loved what they were doing. I loved, they were doing it for the community. It was awesome finding something like that here in, like, so close to where I lived. I've learned so much about planting, about farming, about food justice, and also about how you can bring all those healthy options to a community.
So La Semilla was a place where I could go on my day off and dream of a different world. And they supported me in my efforts to really take that vision forward and seek to develop my skill set. I'm currently in the position that I am because I was able to develop the necessary experience at La Semilla. I think that La Semilla is a super critical hub in the Chihuahuan Desert. As an arid community, we are both at the front line and are the future of climate change. A lot of skills and perspectives that I want to bring back to my community when the time comes for me to circle back. I will find fertile soil, both literally and metaphorically, at La Semilla.
Happy 10th anniversary, La Semilla. La Semilla helped motivate me to make my lifelong dream a reality and convert my parents' small farm into a multifaceted business.
I have grown to really love it because it gives the kids like a sense of ownership, and they learn to garden, they learn to cook healthy meals, and they learn to love vegetables because they get to eat what they grow.
I think it's a model organization, and I want to return when I can.
When I became a full-time employee with La Semilla, I was able to spend a lot of time with Mother Nature, and so it became my therapy. With that and the second chance that La Semilla gave me, they took my work seriously when many companies wouldn't, because my issues with the laws when I was younger. If you would have asked me these questions, or if I would have talked about this a couple years ago, or while I was basically in therapy, I wouldn't have been able to express these words to you without tears running down my face.
And so a happy 10 years, and thank you for letting us be a part of this wonderful program.
Way to say thank you and congratulations for the anniversary.
Happy birthday, La Semilla, y que cumplan muchos más.
Thank you, La Semilla Food Center, for everything that you've done.
So God bless you guys. Thank you for inspiring folks like myself and my wife. Keep doing the hard work. Happy 10 year to you guys.
Thank you so much for being so friendly and always so willing to help.
Thank you, everybody, for your hard work.
Thank you, La Semilla.
Just want to say thank you.
If you don't know about them and you are hearing them for the first time, I encourage you to reach out to them because they do such wonderful work and there's something for everybody at La Semilla, so thank you. Hello again, this is Catalina. I want to go ahead and thank everybody for participating in our birthday raffle on Instagram and Facebook with hashtag LaSemilla10. I'm going to go ahead and pick the winner of the raffle with this little bowl here, and the winner is Lisa Martinez, also known as EP Veg Snob on Instagram. So thank you everybody for participating. You're going to be winning a shirt made specifically for the 10th birthday of La Semilla. I also want to thank everybody for joining us, not only for the 10th birthday of La Semilla, but the entire 10 years that La Semilla has been around. None of this would have been possible without you all. So thank you very much and have a great night.